So I just finished journaling my trades today, and I wanted to show you guys what I did and why I think these two trades worked out in my favor and what I was able to overcome to allow me to see these trades and then take them. So for context, yesterday was CPI day. We had good news. However, the market kind of tanked, which was unexpected. I made some losing trades yesterday because of this. I was thinking to go long, and the market went short. Now, today, I was expecting that some delayed buyers would show back up. Plus, this demand zone that we made several trades off the last couple of days did not really get invalidated. I had a Thursday's lows marked out, and we had not broken through those. So this was still a critical level. If buyers could prove themselves, I would be willing to play with buyers. And it turned out that buyers were delayed, and you can see right here this massive green volume bar we got, and buyers pushed up price today. So this right here is what happened on CPI day. We got a massive buy up in the morning, and then price kind of sold off, bounced off this demand zone, and then we ended up in this demand zone when the market opened up this morning. So one of the things I did is I marked pre-market high, which I always do. It's always a key level, and it will tell you what the market is going to do. Maybe it doesn't touch pre-market high exactly, but maybe like today, maybe it rejects way above pre-market high, which is telling you that buyers are that much stronger that they didn't even wait for price to come down to pre-market high for buyers to step in. So what happened was my pre-market analysis was to wait for price to run up, come down to pre-market high, and then bounce off. So I was looking to play along when we either came down into this demand zone or we came down and touched pre-market high, and I saw the right criteria to enter my trade. So what happened was we came up underneath the supply zone, and this supply zone was created yesterday right here halfway through the day. I believe at 2 o'clock is when the FOMC minutes were being read, and this is where we saw selling. So I was thinking if we came into this level again, expect to see sellers. But I was going to wait to see how the market reacted to this zone. Now, what happened was price came up into this zone and we consolidated underneath this zone. Instead of rejecting it and seeing bearish candles, and then thinking about a move to the downside, I noticed that we were trending kind of sideways. And that if you look on the 5 minute chart, you will see that the bottom of these candles was constantly getting bought up, bought up, bought up, giving a large wick to the downside. And what that tells me is buyers are present. They just need to eventually overwhelm the sellers, and we'll see a move to the upside. So I saw this trading sideways. This did not look bearish to me at all, but I also didn't yet have a confirmation to go long. So I'll just zoom in a little bit here to show you guys what it looked like. So this is what I was seeing. I saw a bunch of long wicks to the bottom. There was also wicks to the top, and we're underneath the supply zone. So now I'm waiting. I'm just letting the market tell me its story. And now I see this candle right here. Now, when I'm looking at the chart on 5 minute candles, I always judge. I always need to see two candles to get into my trade. One I call a signal candle, and the other one I call an entry candle. So right now, I'm looking for a signal candle. I'm looking for a green candle with a large wick to the bottom that bounces off one of my key areas of value. And then I wait to see what price does after that to give me an entry candle. And those are my two criteria to enter my trade. So right here is where a signal candle appeared. We'll call this a Bayesian candle. Yes, it did have a wick to the upside. However, we bounced perfectly off VWAP, which is a very good sign, and that's a good signal that if buyers respect VWAP, look to play along. So now I've got my entry candle, I've got my signal candle. Now I'm looking for an entry candle. So we move and I wait for the next candle to close. And after this 5 minute candle close, this is confirming the move in my direction. I got long right here as soon as this candle closed, and my stops were right here at this bounce at VWAP because I saw all these wicks to the downside, and I'm thinking that there must be buyers there who want to defend their position and who will buy price back up if it eventually comes down to that level. So that was my stop, and what happened was price kept on rallying through this supply zone. A very good sign for me is when we're breaking through a supply zone, I want to see strength. And by strength, I mean large movement accompanied with large volume. Because if you don't get large volume with a large move, that likely means that it's a weak push through a zone and it will likely be overwhelmed. You always need to be playing with the big money, and big money is signaled by big volume. So this is what I saw. It was very good. And now that we've broken above this zone, I'm looking at it like a demand zone. And exactly just like I expected, we saw long wicks to the downside. So this is telling me that buyers have now taken control of the market and they want to see a higher price. We are now targeting this next supply zone up here. So when I got long here, my stop was VWAP and my target was this zone up here, 318.50. So at this point, I'm in one contract, price comes down. I see all of these wicks right here at 10:30. I see this large wick here to the bottom, and I see these two candles right here. This is where I get in another position. I load in on another long position. I bought the same strike price, so now I'm in two contracts, and I'm waiting for price to go up. Yes, we were kind of trading sideways here, but I never saw two candles. I never saw a signal candle and an entry candle to go short. And that is why I stayed in this trade. You can see every time there was two red candles in a row, they both had long wicks to the downside. And what that tells me is buyers are pushing that price up and they do not want price to go lower. So now I'm just sitting in this trade, patiently waiting for price to move to my supply zone. And this is the key part about watching the 5 minute chart, which I know I've stressed before, but it's helped me so much in staying in trades and just trusting the process. If you look at the 1 minute time frame, there's going to be so much noise. You're going to see huge red around, especially around areas like right here and right here. You're going to see huge red candles on the 1 minute chart. And yes, they are large red candles, but in the context of a 5 minute chart and the bigger picture, it's not enough to signal a reversal or signal sellers now taking control of the market. Especially when you look on the 5 minute and you see these large wicks to the bottom side, that just means that buyers are there, constantly pushing price up, wanting to see a higher price. And sure enough, this supply zone acted like a magnet. And as we ripped into this supply zone is where I took my profits. I made over 100% on this trade, and I could have held on longer. I could have. However, this was my zone, especially when I'm at 100% profits. I like to just take my profits. I know that I should really wait for a full rejection, but this was my move. I had a stop loss, I had a target, and I at least obeyed my rules. That's a win for me. I was really happy with the way this trade worked out. But the only reason that it worked out is because I was able to switch up my plan right here in the beginning of the day. At the beginning, I was thinking that sellers were going to take control. That's always what I think. In a supply zone, I want to see sellers prove to me that they want to take price lower. And I never saw that. I never saw a 5 minute candle that convinced me that sellers were in control. What I did see, however, was two green candles, a signal candle, and an entry candle bouncing off an area of value, and that's where I went long. I hope that helped you guys. Please, please, please use level 2. Use the 5 minute chart. It's helped me so much. At least practice with it and learn to watch the candles develop over time. watch the price getting pushed up. And yes, you can't see all of the tiny little candles, but if you start to understand what the appearance of a candlestick can tell you about the market, is going to help you so much in your ability to identify buyers and sellers stepping in, and also help you stay in the trade for the duration until it hits your target. I hope that helped. I'll see you guys in the next one.